We begin here in Nigeria, looking at the front page of the Daily Sun newspaper. And the front page of the Daily Sun newspaper, we can see the big story. Tinubu talks tough to service chiefs. That's the big story. Directs them to provide adequate security measures. Says working at cross purpose will no longer be condoned. That's on page 6. Subsidy. Reps seek forensic audit of 413 billion naira CBN loan. That's on page 7. We also have here 4 billion naira alleged fraud. EFCC detains, grills ex-Ekiti governor, Fayemi. Did you see this earlier?
The Fayemi story? Yeah, that's what I was referring to, from Fayemi, Fayemi, and now to Fayemi.
I'm pulling your legs because I remember that's what you were asking.
Yeah, but another thing, I think it's also important to talk about the Tinubu talks tough to service chiefs. Mostly because we read similar stories in the
Buhari era,
yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Condemning and giving them ultimatums.
Giving them marching orders and all of that, But so the questions, that I believe that the new president, because Nigerians would like to see that things are different, right?
Yeah.
So the question to the current president is, yes, you've given marching orders, you've talked tough and all of that, but what happens when nothing changes? Do you then understand after a couple of months that, okay...
Will people be fired?
Exactly.
Will people be made to actually take responsibility?
And are you certain, that you have equipped and funded the military well enough? Because these are things that he needs to check.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll see how it goes.
And we're still on the front page this morning of the Daily Sun. Maritime workers begin strike Monday. So every other day is one team or the other. Today is maritime, tomorrow is healthcare, the other day it will be NLC here and there. Our youths plead with Yari to concede Senate presidency to Kalu on page 26, and the drama continues. Fare hike, commercial vehicles scarcity as higher fuel price takes effect, commuters groan. Obi Labour Party tender results different from INEX for Rivers, Benue and 4 others. We also have challenges Tinubu's victory in 18 states. Your waiting time of court. Tribunal berates petitioner over alleged unprecedentedness. That looks like, there's 2 more. IGP approves promotion of 31,465 personnel. Interesting one. Mba outlaws Monday's sit-at-home in Enugu. Governor to dialogue with stakeholders, pleads with Tinubu to release IPOB leader Kanu. That's all the stories we can take this morning.
Yeah, so I think those are also very, very interesting stories there. The Enugu State governor outlawing sit-at-home for more than a year now, I believe. Enugu State, in fact, a couple of states in the southeast, including Enugu, have been dealing with Monday sit-at-home that was imposed on them illegally by the IPOB, the Biafran group, or Nnamdi Kanu's group. And so, for a long time, I think Nigerians have been calling on Southeast governors to show that they are governors, and not, simply just existing in government house, and let people know that they're safe to come out and work on Monday. So let's see how Peter Mbah tackles, the IPOB here and tackles the sit-at-home orders, that have been given. And is he also certain that he can protect the people of Enugu State on Mondays when they come out to do their business and all of that? So, and I also want to remind Enugu State, indigenes that they should not, they shouldn't just accept Mondays as, as an extra holiday. That's a lazy approach to seeing things. Also, a lot of drama in the court yesterday from the Presidential Election Tribunal, also a lot of drama yesterday that we saw, but pretty interesting to see things turn out the way they are. Now let's move to Kenya and see what's on the standard newspapers this morning. It says here, more promises as Kenya turns 60. President William Ruto yesterday urged the country to back his reform plan, saying the future can only be safeguarded through the measures he's putting in place, like housing fund and job creation. There's a lot of pages of the Standard taking that story. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can find more on that story there. Also on the Standard newspapers this morning, it says the state steps up plan for 250 billion shillings Euro bond. And of course, in sports, Roma, of course, lost the Europa Cup. And it says that Sevilla always in control of Europe. Really sad for Jose Mourinho when I saw, of course, the way that game turned out. Of course, get your copy of the fresh new look Nairobian today. That's also on the Standard newspapers. Not very many stories. The ones in the bottom not very clear, so I may not be able to share those ones. But that's what we have on the Standard newspapers this morning.
All right, moving away from Nairobi, let's go to the Guardian Post and see what the Guardian Post newspaper is saying this morning in Cameroon. And on the front page of the Guardian Post newspaper, we can see the big story this morning that says, Northwest House of Chiefs, President rescued after 18 months in amber captivity. We also have here, fight against corruption, special consume audit team to grill over 100 today. Frightening, we also have over 1 million in Cameroon consume tobacco daily. Oh, wow. What statistics? 8,300 die yearly, according to a report by National Institute of Statistics. We also have here Bilingualism Commission engages civil society to combat hate speech and xenophobia. And the personality of the week, which is usually my favorite column, Dr. Ebongo Zax Nanje, Family Health Director, Ministry of Public Health. It'd be interesting to find out why he's the personality of the week and what criteria they measure, they take in measuring who is their personality of the week.
Yeah.
And that's what we have this morning on the Guardian Post.
All right. Now, back to Kenya on the Nairobian. I think that's one of the stories. Just a few of them there. It says, City Church in sex drama as a rogue pastor preaches sleeping with many partners. It also says false doctrine. Sleuth swung into action following a tip-off about the bizarre happenings in religious house. Just to bear in mind that Kenya, just to remind you that in Kenya, the drama concerning false doctrines and churches, preaching some very, very dangerous messages. If you remember the Shakahola investigation, yes, that is still going on. Of course, that is in Kenya also. But there's another church, where the pastor is asking that their members sleep with as many partners as possible. I'm not sure why.
Well, we've seen a number of that. That's why it's important that people understand, for those who are people of faith, you understand God for yourself. Because if you follow what is happening in a number of religious institutions, you'll be led astray.
Yeah, absolutely.
The kind of things that they say. Anyway, I don't even want to go into that.
All right. Well, still on the Nairobi and this morning, investigation. Tale of a hospital without a lab issuing test results, pages 6 and 7. And also women embracing vaginal updos wellness therapy.
I put up this thing on my story, I don't know if you saw it 2 days ago, telling ladies to leave their lady parts alone. Now the beauty industry has capitalized on it. I heard the other day of something called facials, vaginal facials. I don't know what that means. Like, there is a pH balance that should not be altered. Leave it alone and don't allow all these people who are in the beauty industry take your money and mess up with your body. I don't understand the number of all this.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything.
Yes, you wouldn't know.
Yeah. I still identify as a man. All right.
That's good.
These are the major stories in the Nairobi and this morning, and the stories that we can share at this time. We have more newspapers coming your way in the second half of Breakfast Central. Stay with us. It's a Friday morning, and of course, we're moving into our top stories right next.